Welcome, Wise Chat. Producer Henry here to say it is Wednesday, July 24th. Thank you for joining us for Wisecrack Live. Don't forget to like that stream, get comfy. Mike will be with us in just a moment, and hopefully it's not the worst Wednesday. I see a couple comments from the cubicles in the chat. Hope you're still in time and feeling fine. If you are just now joining us, you are on time and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Welcome in, Mav. No, not at all, Peter. We're going to have a very measured chat this time around. No weird fandoms are coming in at all. Certainly none of these personalities have any. Kian, we're going to go through it here on stream, so don't worry about a link. Or we can provide a link in chat later, but we're going to be pretty thorough with it. Yeah, same old Greece. I was reading a bit about it, but right now it seems very, very messy and foggy territory as far as what's legit versus what's transphobic in the story. So, gonna investigate that further.
Hey everyone, it's Wisecrack Live on Wednesday, July 24th. How is it almost August? You know, that's my question. That is my question. So, today we're gonna focus most of our time, or as much time as we can manage before we lose our minds, talking about this interview between Jordan Peterson and Elon Musk. First, I do want to shout out our God's Not Dead video, our first one from a few years ago. It hit 600,060, I don't know. It hit 666 views yesterday.
666K.
I realized I left the door open to this office space and people are going to hear things. So I'll be back in 3 seconds.
1, 2,
okay,
3. Wow.
I want to yell a lot today. I'm going to scream a lot, so I got to be ready. But shouts to the commenter who let me know that video was officially at 666. So, we're going to check that out today. And we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes. If it gets too intense, if we get too angry, we can always tap out. But when two of the most influential minds of a generation get together, I wish I was joking, I wish when I said two of the most influential minds of a generation, I was being sarcastic.
Very smart choice to use the word influential there.
Ooh, Mike from PA, Central Committee on Twitch, was reacting to our capitalism article. Wasn't a big fan. Oh well. You know what? Never mind. I almost said something spicy. I like that guy. I talked about going on a stream sometime, but not now. If you're watching this, think again. Because I never forgive, but I often forget. But there you go. So, we're gonna get to talking about that. Give me 1 second. First, I want to look at some comments. Please like the stream in the meantime. Just a reminder, if you too want to react to our video on capitalism and climate change. Watch it if you haven't watched it yet. It came out on Monday. That was we normally don't put stuff out on Monday, so that was okay. Old Grease says I wish Wisecrack FT signifier CJ the X. Oh, I gotta hit CJ up. CJ we were gonna do something together, but then I got sick the week that he was in town. That's a good reminder for me. Good reminder to email CJ back. Ramrod, what's up? And thanks for having to watch the Monday video. Really, truly, genuinely, honestly, earnestly appreciate it. So check that out if you haven't already. Check out the accompanying video if you want as well. And if you have a Twitch stream, react to it and use your anger at that video to fuel clicks and drive content. You know, the game is the game. So I understand that, I understand that the game is the game. But also don't get spicy when you react to my videos and then act nice to me on social media because I ain't about that. I just ain't. Okay, and I'm glad you like that Jack the Templar. So everyone like this, we're gonna get into some comments and we're gonna dive into this video. So check out some comments from recent videos. I'm gonna scroll up. Who's the first username?
Tom Bombaddy.
Oh, they actually went in order this week. Tom Bombaddy says the Earth's continued existence is an obstacle in the way of achieving a 4% GDP growth every year. It has to go. Hey, without a 3, it's their birthday. Can you please send them some love? Let's do some birthday love in the chat. Let's just do it. Let's friggin' do it. Birthday love in the chat now.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah, I do think that we have to acknowledge that Earth, but in particular, like the existence of human beings and their culture, is having a really negative effect on the economy. And I do fully support the eradication of humanity if it fuels economic growth and the expansion of the GDP. And I think that if you don't agree with that, what are you doing? What are you doing? Devin 12096 says, I want a second Wisecrack channel where Michael picks a random internet article or trend and just rants about it unscripted for 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to be honest. Wisecrack won't start that, but I started a YouTube channel a while ago that I wanted to just like make stuff on the side for fun. And what had happened is I just haven't known what to do. And I think I'm going to do that now. So I think that's my idea. So I think on my own channel, my side quest universe, which will have nothing to do with the corporate entity that I work for. I think I'm going to do that. And an idea I have. So if people want to hit me up, I mean, you could do this on the Wisecrack Live 666 email as well and just specify it's for that, or hit me up on Twitter. Maybe I'll do a thing where I ask some of y'all for recommendations and I'll make my own dumb little videos and I'll go in blind. I like that idea, having like an article or a trend and you just tell me about it and I'm just going to go in blind. Okay. But I like that idea. Mario Agrippolopoulos says, does Jimmy Bananas know how fucking cool he's making Kamala Harris sound to people like me? Yeah, I mean, it's really funny because sometimes when people like Jimmy McConcepts is like Kamala Harris is like secretly a Marxist. Like, obviously she's not. She's fucking neo-lib cop. But for many people, it makes them sound cooler. So, like, why not? Why not? Let's see. And then finally, yes, I made a reference to the song What Happened to That Boy with Birdman and Pusha T. So I really appreciate that. And then, yes, and then Dark Ranger said it would be nice if we lived in a world that wasn't run by sociopaths. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So, 1 second. Just sending Henry a secret message, guys. Thanks again for being here. Excited to see you all. Just a reminder, as always, our stream partner is Yes Please Coffee. This is what it looks like. This is what Yes Please Coffee looks like. Well, let's autofocus. Yeah, let's friggin' do it, dog. Yes Please Coffee is a Los Angeles-based coffee roaster. They're independent. They make really good stuff with a lot of care. They're cool people. And we partner with them. They don't pay us money to say this. I reached out to them because I like their coffee a lot and thought it'd be a cool thing for us to have as a partner. If you use code Wisecrack, you get 20% off. There's a link in the description. So I just can't recommend it enough. If you're someone who like drinks coffee anyways, if it's a part of your ritual of your life and you want to support us, this is a fun way to do it. It's a fun way to support what we're doing and support the stream in particular. You know, fuck the rest of the channel, right? Jokes. But check out Yes Please Coffee. Link in the description. We like it very much. I drink it most days. And like, yeah, is my urine purple now? For sure. Can the doctor tell me why? No. But do I feel great? Kind of. So check out Yes Please Coffee. Okay, so got some stuff going on in the chat. I'm going to say one spicy thing before we get going. Sometimes I like to get spicy stuff out of the way before too many people show up. And you know, I'll just say this. I was going to message Henry. But yeah, Henry, we'll see if that makes a difference. I'm kind of shocked numbers wise, you know,
Okay.
I'll say what I was going to say to Henry, guys. I kind of feel like sometimes when we talk about people like Musk and Peterson, the stream numbers do really well. And it's a little iffy so far, but we'll see what happens when we get into it. That's why we did a little title and thumb switcheroo, because we want people to watch it so we can keep making it. But I don't know, I had a thought this week. A couple thoughts this week. One thought was that I feel like in some cases we're maybe struggling too much to acknowledge the problems. I guess like to hold in both hands the large scale political, philosophical, and ideological problems with the American democratic system and voting, and in another hand, the sort of material practicalities of certain voting related outcomes, you know? And I will say there are some people that got heat on, you know, the old Twitter this week for saying things like, because of the U.S. response to Gaza, they're not voting either way, which I personally find no moral problem with, especially for people that are from Gaza or are Palestinian. But for other folks, you know, there's been this sort of reaction because some people, because we all know that, like Henry, Kamala is Brett, and people who are vaguely left-leaning on the internet, if they've said things publicly like they are going to vote for her, are excited about whatever, and other people are kind of coming out with the like, you're a big horrible sellout thing. And I just wonder how much of that, I'm someone that's done that before, how much of that is just this sense of, and I'm asking this genuinely, moral and political superiority. Like, you're an idiot because you're going to vote for a person, and I'm not, because my moral political ideology is so pure. You know, maybe that's the case. There is part of me, and I'll be selfish here for a second. I'm currently worried about, you know, the fact that if the Republicans win the next election in America, that my student loans legit, because like without the income-based plan, I'll tell you some numbers now. I'm currently only having to pay like $300 a month for my student loans. If it wasn't like an income-based thing, I would have to pay thousands of dollars a month. I would probably owe more than I make, and that would suck, you know. I do think, obviously, I think about things like reproductive rights, both for my wife and daughter. That's a thing. So I don't know. I guess I'm just in this space right now where and this is hypothetical because I don't know anything about politics. I don't vote. I don't have politics. But let's say hypothetically, I was a pretty rigorously left-leaning person and had been for years. You know, there's part of me that very much understands the logical argument for abstaining from voting. We did a video about this last week. And there's another part of me that just wonders, like, you know, can you be like, this system is problematic in a number of ways, and yet, you know, one can strategically put out a vote because at least that might make material conditions slightly better, and maybe those material conditions being slightly better can even pave the way for more action in the future. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Mike C says, before we hate the world, can we please get a book club update? Also watching from Japan. It's hot as balls. Book club update. First video is going to go up. I'm going to try to get up this week. It'll just be an intro where we're going to talk about some Byung-Hil Chan stuff in general. I'm going to tell you some ways you can get your hands on the book, and I'll do an intro, and we're kind of going to build up from there. So you can check that out on Patreon if you want. But, you know, people have thoughts on that. Let me know. Henry, do you have thoughts on any of the stuff I just ranted about?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I was surprisingly energized by the Harris selection, considering
Yeah.
how critical I am of the overall construction. I recognize that we're playing the game of neoliberalism, and yes, that needs to be transcended, and like it is a systemic blight. It's. I still recognize that Kamala's a cop. It's more
Hmm.
that like at least it seems there's a sort of muscle for fighting Trump still. I know that in some ways may sound like, oh well, you're like you're meeting the fascists at the table or whatever. But I mean, I think the reasons you outlined are pretty valid to be like, well, we can vote to at least keep the margins we operate in at this, framing, while further work outside of electoral politics helps us get the future we want.
Yeah. I will say Bob Dylan in the chat, and also Bob, thank you so much for the work you've done over the years as a musician. I think it's so cool that you're touring again right now. I want to let you know, really appreciate everything you're doing. Um, so what I wanted to say real quick. Um, let me see something for a second. Um, uh, I just lost my mind. I had a thing I was going to say. Henry was saying a thing. I was going to say a thing.
We were
Uh,
talking about voting or participating in voting after making a video questioning
yeah.
voting.
Oh, I was also going to say, this is what I was responding. I forgot. Bob Dylan in the chat was asking about voting and said, wait, you never vote. Guys, this is the secret. We have an ongoing bit on the show that no one who works for Wisecrack has ever voted. It's part of the bit that we don't do politics. That bit is grounded in the fact that there's a lot of people on the internet that think that we should make objective, non-political content with no point of view, humanity, subjectivity, or ideological commitment. So it's just an ongoing bit. I've voted in some elections. I'll tell you that I have voted. I won't tell you which ones, but I have voted. So we're gonna get into this video. I'm gonna start streaming, doing my screen share thing, and we'll get that going.
Yeah, just share it right there, and I can get the
Yeah,
layout.
and then I'll kind of like adjust the size on my screen. Yeah, guys, this is going to be not so much a science today, but we're trying something slightly new.
We practiced this just for you, chat.
Yeah, because here's the thing. This one isn't on YouTube, guys. Um it's on what's it called? It's on Daily Wire. So we had to make a Daily Wire account. Well, and it might get shut down. This is one too where like I think there's a high likelihood that this gets taken down after it's up. So if you're here, you're gonna enjoy something special. Okay, I'm gonna unmute
Yeah,
Henry
this is
and
a
I'll start
limited
with the
hangout.
yeah, I'm gonna start with the volume on my end at the 50% point, and we can go up from there. Yeah. And then yeah, so I can adjust the volume on here. Let us know as well, guys. But yeah, it's gonna be a special one. So like the stream if you haven't already. This is gonna be a special one. Probably the only time we stream something from the Daily Wire website. I know, unclean. As I did it, we didn't give Daily Wire money. We did not give Daily Wire money. We did not. 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 I want to be 100% clear. I want to be 100% clear. We did not give the Daily Wire money. Okay. I would not give Ben Shapiro a penny if his life. No, that's not true. I would. I wouldn't let him die. If it was a penny and Ben Shapiro was like, "Can I have a penny to save my life?" I'd be like, "Fuck it, dog." I don't know.
I have it up on screen now if you want
Okay.
to
I'm
start
gonna
playing it.
play.
Chat, just give us a moment to work out tech as this goes along.
Yeah. Because it gave me options. So can I say one thing? It said, let me check one thing real quick. Is that cool? So it's giving me options for wait, so it says, fuck, you're currently God damn it.
We can
Let me
flip
try.
methods, and you'll just be the one telling me to pause. But I think it would get better
Well,
quality for
is
the
it
stream.
worth yeah. Would it be worth updating stream? Because it says stream quality on my end.
It's a bandwidth thing more than a stream quality thing.
Okay. That's shocking because I'm at like the company office where they have really good internet. Okay, cool. Let's switch roles then. And then it's the point it's 19 like 35 is when they really get to talking. So I'll stop and you can start streaming. Guys, they're killing us.
This is going to take just a moment, chat. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. Um, they don't they don't want us to win. They don't want us to thrive. There's a world where this doesn't work out, but we're gonna try. Okay, so we'll see how it goes. And we can go from there. I don't know if their hair plugs are falling out. So audio is fine, pretty choppy. Yeah, we shouldn't have said anything about the money. But again, we're gonna try to check out some of the Peterson and Musk thing. Again, whenever we do this, it's always for two reasons. One reason is that there is a sort of jouissance or sort of psychic pleasure that comes from ripping on people who are powerful in our society, but who are bad. In another sense, great. Yes. In another sense, guys, a reason we like to do is, yeah, so I can see it in the little top box there. Yeah, I think when you start it, it'll get bigger. But another reason, of course, guys, do I have to click watch stream on my end? Okay, cool. Great. But another reason we do stuff like this, guys, just as a reminder, is that there is sadly these people are wildly influential in our time, and it is important sometimes to consider the stuff they say, to get at it, to kind of point some stuff out. Okay, so let's try and see how it works on this one. Okay, I hear it. So yeah, if you can go to like 1945 or something.
Give
And I'll
me
just
just
be
a moment doing the
yeah.
finishing touches on tech.
Oh yeah, take your time. JPB X Musk. Like, this is where we're at as a society, guys. That these are people who we treat as like important minds of our time. We treat them as figures who can shape the future of humanity. There was a period in time where people looked to Immanuel Kant and Isaac Newton, Copernicus, a number of figures who are maybe worthy of these things. Oh, we got it. We can't watch these guys though. We can't watch these guys. So yeah, whenever you're ready, we'll get into it. I was like 1945 or 1935-ish is when they kind of start talking. But at the beginning, he's just like, "I'm very excited to be here." Ever tried to use Grok on Twitter? I'm sorry, I will not call it X. It's really bad and it doesn't function very well. So their goal of Grok, I'm going to open up. Can I open up Grok on my personal device right now? Oh, I can. I think I can on the Wisecrack account. I think it lets me Grok. Let me see if I can Grok. Oh, I don't even see it right now. I guess I have to do it on the thing. It's stupid. It doesn't work very well. But the idea that X has a supercomputer with Grok running on it, and the point of this is to understand the universe. Couple things here. One, I don't think that a poorly created AI on Elon's version of Twitter is going to understand the universe. Second of all, why would we, like, what does understanding mean in this context? Does it mean pulling data about the universe? Because if we're thinking, I'm going to be ex-philosophy professor guy here, if we're thinking about understanding the universe as like having a comprehension of the structure and meaning of reality in relation to our own humanity, it's sort of like that is a discipline of thought. It's called metaphysics. People have been doing it since before Jesus H. Christ was born. And rather than taking the time to think critically for yourself, you just want to build a bigger computer so you don't have to think. And increasingly, I was thinking about this relative to AI stuff, right? The article came out last week about how the AI training set went through a bunch of YouTube videos, including hundreds of ours, and stole all this data and the dialogue from those YouTube videos to train these systems. And when you really think about it, it's like, oh, so people don't want to think for themselves. They just want to steal information to act smart. And then thinking about the YouTube AI thing, of course, I think, oh, so they're training systems so that AI can create YouTube videos so people like me and all your other favorite people on YouTube won't have jobs. It's like, what are we doing? What is the point of Grok understanding the universe? Because again, I'm going to stop this rant soon. Philosophically speaking, the point of understanding the universe and understanding our relationship to the universe is so that we could live a good life, so we could understand the meaning of existence such that it can affect our lives and we can participate in community, society, and politics better. But it doesn't seem like that's what they want to do here. So if the point is creating a big fucking computer in fucking Memphis just to get some more data about the cosmos for the sake of selling cars that don't work, what are we doing? Like the stream. Let's get and meaning is a form of incentive reward. Is like Jungian thing
Like the thing
that,
reward part's what's getting me.
yeah, I don't think that I've never thought of it that way. Meaning is a form of incentive
I guess like if
reward.
you find meaning in what you like in the Vegas sense, like the enjoyment and the pleasure is the reward, but like
Yeah, there's like a psychic enjoyment from, I mean, I guess in a
this
sense,
seems
you know,
more zero sum kind of malignant though.
yeah, because you could do the teleological thing of like, when I align my personal meaning and ethic with something that I deem to be my purpose, there is a sense of happiness that resides in that, I guess. Look at us like really we're just jumping through hoops here
I
trying to take
mean,
him seriously.
it sounds like intellectualizing nice guy mindset, honestly. Like do the performative thing and put the token in the machine and you'll get your reward.
Yeah. And real quick, guys, thanks for being here. If you're tuning in, just jumping in. This is Wisecrack Live. I'm Michael Burns. I'm here with producer Henry. We're here every Wednesday. And today we're watching Dr. Jordan Peterson and Mr. Elon Musk talk because they are the Aristotle and Plato of our world. Um, and, part of this is we're getting psychic satisfaction and also deep frustration. And, guys, like, why do we keep doing this thing where people, like, there's a certain type of dude and they just talk a lot and they go on the internet, and I get the irony of me, person who talks a lot on the internet, and we assume these people are smart just because they say the most words, and we really got to stop. We really got to stop. And I'll say, I think a lot of people connect with Jordan Peterson, with Elon Musk, with other people in that vague wheelhouse because they like make them feel smart. But I would say go after figures when you're reading text, when you're watching films, when you're listening to music, seek out that which complicates what you already believe. Lean into that which makes you question yourself and your own assumptions and values. That's the point here, self-examination, um, a sort of serious, ruthless interrogation of oneself and one's assumptions, and then by proxy, the assumptions of the society. That's what we want to do. That's what the gist is here, not sitting there and getting psychic enjoyment out of someone telling us that we're already good and right. Does nothing. It's the same shit when like it's something we're thinking about for we are launching the second channel. We're starting to get some videos ready for it. And one of the videos we're starting to work on, the main gist of it is problematizing the use of leftist and progressive tropes and ideas in recent cinema and television. Because, of course, we know in the last 10 years now, it's more and more common to watch mainstream TV and movies where it's like, oh my God, this is critical of capitalism or exploitation or whatever. And we're like, this feels so great. But wait, why is society getting so fascist around us? Because maybe we just get a sort of psychic enjoyment out of seeing our ideals represented on screen, but it doesn't really do anything else. That was a little diversion. But thanks for letting me cook for a second, guys. But let's get back to the real chef. Hope everyone's doing okay. Thank you so much for watching. Some things that I think are great, cooking a meal for people you love and care about feels really nice. I would say if you're not a good cook, consider learning some recipes that make you happy, and then making those meals for people you care about. Even surprise them with it. Practice your cooking when people aren't around, and then you can do that for people you like. Maybe this leads to you starting dinner parties where you invite people over, and even people from different walks of life or different parts of your world, and you bring people together to talk about ideas and share in human community. If you live someplace where you walk around, there's a lot of people that live around you, neighbors and stuff like that you don't really talk to. Just say hi to some people. Realize that you live in a community and people are probably nicer than you think. If you've never tried playing an instrument before, it's never too late, and there's some simple ones you could try, and there's something really satisfying about creating music. And I'd say the same with art. Maybe you're bored one weekend, rather than watching TV, go to an art supply store, buy canvas and paints, and just fuck around with it. Um, and I, it's just stuff that's nice in life. I think that there's a lot of good books out there as well. You feel good when you read a book in a way you maybe don't when you just consume content, especially like really bad streaming stuff. And I just think you're all doing a good job. You're trying. You're trying. I know you guys. I like you guys, and I think you're trying to be good people. You're trying to have fun in life. You're trying to make sense of all this in a way that doesn't involve insane hubris, and I really appreciate that about you. And you're funny. I like that you guys are funny in the chat. You're nice to people. It's very rare that we have, total assholes here. And I love sometimes if there is a real asshole in the chat, people even try to engage with them. And that's why I'm here to talk about I'm here to talk to you about Prozac. This stream is brought to you by Prozac. Put your address and social security number in the chat, and we'll send you a rusty Diet Coke can full of Prozac that went bad 10 years ago. So, we had to say that. Sorry, guys, needed a little bit of a break from this. Well, maybe watch it. Maybe should we do like a Peterson and Musk roulette and close out? And also, if anyone has thoughts on anything, remember we have Wisecrack Live 666. I want to follow up on one thing. A thing we talked about on Monday was that another really smart person, James Lindsay, is having like a communism conference near an airport in Dallas next month. And we said if someone wants to go, we'll crowdfund the money to pay for you to go to it and be a mole. And we had a few responses. So if anyone seriously wants to do that, if you're in the Dallas area, near the Dallas area, and you have the gumption and the ability, if there's two of you, we'll try to raise money for two of you, because maybe going as a team would be better. Let us know. We'll try to set that up. There's like an hour of this left, right, Henry?
Yeah.
My God. And thank you for being extra liking it. Maybe just like skip forward. Let's just skip forward like 10 minutes at this point, and you'll just fucking see,
All right. Yeah, I know he says some horrible
decide.
things about his kids at some point that got clips.
Yeah.
Let's see if
and
we
I will
land
say,
on that.
Yeah. Let's just see. God. Drop us.
That's right.
This is talking about Mars. Sure, if we go to Mars, it's cool. There's a lot of other stuff to work on. I mean, like, I think you can just look back at, it's like 2 hours of two people who are supposed to be really smart talking about the meaning of the universe and ethics and the emergence of consciousness and the way we consider power in society, and the distinction between hedonism and the raw seeking out of power, the way in which technology can affirm all of these things, the way in which we're species is because we have to prioritize humanity above all else, and technology will serve that humanity. And the end result of all of this is that trans people aren't allowed to exist.
And again, I'll go back to the galaxy, guys.
Yeah. Again, I'll go back to the point I made earlier, and we'll say something positive when we leave. Thank you for hanging out for this. I know it's like cathartic and like whatever is maybe annoying. I think there's a level of importance, sadly, of at least sometimes exposing ourselves to the ideas of people that have way too much influence in society. But again, these are people, or we'll just talk about Elon here, who thinks that technology can fundamentally modify the biological organisms of the human, that we should put goddamn chips in our brains to modify the neural structure of our humanity. But the idea of someone being like, you know what? I actually identify as another gender. To do that, I'm going to do some very mild, safe, and medically supervised stuff. And maybe I'm going to, change around what I got going on down there. Not put a chip in my brain, not drill into my skull and put experimental electrical wires into my fucking head. I'm going to express my gender in a way that feels true to my subjective experience. That's evil. But the other one isn't, and again, it's expanding technology and restricting humanity, expanding what we can do with Grok. With Grok, we must expand Grok. But thinking creatively about the capacity of human beings, whether that's political creativity and capacity, social creativity and capacity, the creativity and capacity to express gender differently. And then at bottom of it, and I'm going to get a little psychoanalytic here, like, it's a dude who can't tell you why he loves his kids.
He can tell you that he lost them, though.
Yeah. He was asked, what do you love about being a parent? And guys, that was a long pause. And I think at that point, we were watching it at 1.5 speed. So it was longer in actuality. And in his response to what do you love about being a parent is that you love your kids because actually wolves and wolverines and lions or whatever, when they have kids, they chill out. So there's a biological imperative to love, which helps us survive and propagate the species. I think that there's something very wrong and sad about that. And I hope, we're here, Dwarven Jesus. This is propaganda. Today's propaganda is love your kids. That's the propaganda I'm here to spout. And if you're unable to articulate why you love your children, maybe you should not have have children would be maybe something that I would say. We'll make sure we do something real vibey the next stream to kind of chill out from this. And I think what we learned today, again, is that, value people that exhibit curiosity, try to embody that principle in ourselves, avoid instances in our lives where maybe we can find ourselves being this rigid and sort of hatefully didactic in our thinking. And, we just have to ask ourselves, why do people like this have such a prominent position in our society and our culture? Why do people take individuals like this so seriously? And why are we treating them as important, for lack of a better term, philosophical figures? Now, one might say, in a sense, we get the philosophers we deserve. And maybe that's it. Maybe the decisions we've made as a culture and the way we've integrated our culture into a, market and click-based content system puts us in this place, maybe. Or maybe there's a set of social and cultural conditions that leave us so desperate for people that seem like they know what's happening that we'll just trust the first person that tells us they do know what's happening, because it's scary sometimes to feel like we don't know what's happening. But I think we deserve better than these folks. I think people in our lives deserve better.
Yeah.
And, I hope that there's a slow turn against folks like this. And to quote, one of Dr. Peterson's favorite books, the Bible, we know that you will judge a tree by its fruits, meaning that we do not judge someone by what they say. We do not judge them by how they articulate their beliefs. We judge them by the fruits of their spirit, the actions and the practices that come out of a set of spiritual or ethical beliefs. And I would simply say that if we're going to judge these gentlemen, maybe we can take a note from Dr. Peterson and judge them by the fruits that they bear and the fruits of their various trees. All that said, I really appreciate everyone for being here. Just a few things on the way out the door. We do have a Patreon. You can check that out if you want to. Mark Nugent, I wasn't saying be fruitful, multiply, fruits of the spirit. You can check out our Patreon if you want. As always, please check out the channel. It helps us out. Thank you so much for all the support you guys gave us earlier this week with the video on our channel about climate that we made with Yellow Dot, as well as the video over on Yellow Dot's channel. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. I did a long interview with the director at Yellow Dot, Stacey Roberts Steele, who's just a very kind person and thoughtful person. I had very fun time chatting with her. It'll also show you a different side of our studio space if you want to look at that. We have a video coming out Friday on The Boys that gets into the kind of like starts with the question of wokeness, but really gets into the idea that The Boys is struggling to do satire, and it's only kind of their fault. It's also our society's fault. So that's going to come out on Friday. As always, if you ever want to just listen to shit or watch stuff on a different app, we put our stuff on Spotify now. You can both listen to it and watch it over there. And if you know any boomers who, don't use YouTube, send them over to Spotify. As always, thank you so much to producer Henry for doing even more than usual today and managing all that. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. And finally, of course, if you need coffee, get Yes Please Coffee. They're our official coffee partner. They're legit good. So if you need good coffee, it's coffee that helps us. Bye forever to Ann Porkins. Let's close with Ann Porkins' words. Eat your slop, kiss your lovers, do art, and learn. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Have a good weekend, y'all.